Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with another tarot spread video, kind of showing you how I would do this tarot spread, as well as kind of sharing this tarot spread because I think it's fun to have different spreads to kind of connect to your deck with. And today is going to be a message from spirit guides spread. And I'm going to be using the Relative Tarot from Carrie Paris, as I think it just helps me connect a little bit more to that kind of energy, if that makes sense. I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. All right. It's a 5-card spread. And so it's been a while since I've actually used this deck. So it'll be nice to have a little moment to kind of share with you guys here. And I don't know if anyone even cares about these tarot spread videos, but I think that they're fun. And sometimes when you're just kind of looking for something different and wanting to see what this looks like in action versus just a post of this is how you do it, I think it's fun. All right. So again, this is the message from Spirit Guide spread. And the very first card is going to be a spirit guide that has a message. So here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Now, card number 2 is going to be the message your spirit guide wants to give you. We have the Ten of Wands reversed. I always try to do these as fun, and then it ends up tattletelling on me. So card number 3 is, why is it important that I hear this message, or that you hear this message? We have the Emperor reversed. We're going to put this this. Okay. Hopefully, oh man, I think I'm going to have to scoot everything up. All right, we'll scoot it up and then we'll kind of go so that way everything will fit in frame, hopefully. Okay. Card number 4 is how your spirit guide is trying to help you. So here we have the Two of Wands. Will be kind of fit. And then card number 5 is, what should you do moving forward? And here we have Death. Oh, they're so funny. Okay. So there's our cards, and now I will put the actual questions as I'm pulling these. Okay. So the very first card, again, this was, my spirit guide that has a message. So here we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this could maybe be somebody that had a lot of luck in their life, or maybe is coming in to kind of remind me that things are changing, that maybe I need to flow with things a little bit better. Maybe my message is to be more aligned with movement, flowing, changing, not being stuck on things have to be a certain way, which is something I do tend to struggle with. I am human and I am a Taurus. So I think with this is kind of a reminder, right? It's maybe it's letting me know the message is things are going to shift. Maybe I don't need to hold back so much on certain things, or maybe I don't need to resist as much. Because when I think of the Wheel of Fortune, I think it's an invitation to say, I'm ready to kind of flow with this energy a little bit more. I don't want to just feel like things are always going to be the way that they have been. So perhaps the spirit guide message for me here is things are going to change. Maybe my luck will be changing. Maybe there will be some new opportunities that will be presented to me that will allow me to feel a little bit more like things are finally coming into a different era for me in various ways. Now for card number 2, we have the message that my spirit guide wants to give me. So here I have the 10 of Wands reversed. Now this is usually a card of overextending myself, of stressing, trying to take on all the burdens by myself. And this being reversed is almost saying that maybe I haven't given myself an opportunity to rest. Maybe I'm not giving myself an opportunity to kind of take care of myself, or to find better ways to delegate. Maybe it's hard for me to be receptive and open to the possibilities that I don't always have to carry on the way that I have been. So I think the message here is just kind of saying like, knock it off, stop trying to carry everything by yourself or keeping everything in. As that is something I do tend to struggle with. I don't like to share too much about my life and what I have going on or what's kind of knocking around my noggin. And so I think with the Ten of Wands reversed here, it's kind of saying like, hey, you don't have to keep everything like that. And when it comes to like my spiritual team, my spiritual practices, my connection to those elements in my life, I will say that I do tend to struggle to even ask my spiritual team for help unless it's like desperate times. So I think that maybe this is almost a reminder that I need to kind of change and flow into allowing my burdens to not be something that I carry by myself. And that's how I would read this card. But I mean, you guys can kind of tell me what you think about that. So number 3, we have, why is it important that you hear this message? And here I have the Emperor reversed. To me, this would signify that maybe I've been domineering over my situation. Maybe I feel like maybe they're saying I'm out of balance with the divine masculine elements within myself. Maybe they're saying that I'm internalizing a lot of things. Maybe I'm not allowing myself to be supported by the masculine energies in my life. Maybe there's a little bit of this sense of like trying to control too much, because I feel like the Emperor reverse would be more like a domineering energy versus a leader. And so I think that this is almost saying like it's important for me to hear this message because maybe I'm trying to be dominating of the situation versus like being in flow and letting things be what they need to be, or kind of trusting that I do have support, to be able to give me what I need or to open up the roads that I'm looking into. The other thing with the Emperor reverse is, again, this is another major card. We have 3 major cards here out of the 5 that I pulled. So obviously, to me, this is almost like saying like there's a lot of very significant lessons here. There's a lot of things that maybe I haven't really been paying attention to or giving a lot of energy into. So I think with the Emperor reverse, it's almost saying like, hey, you're not trusting, you're not leaning into this energy. Maybe you're focusing too much on like the Empress kind of energy within yourself of like creating and this and that, and not really trusting that you can build a stable foundation or that you can do the things that are necessary in order for you to feel like you can lead forward and not feel so closed off in different ways. So I think that they are maybe saying like, hey, knock it off. You have been taking on too much, and that's not in alignment with where your energy can best be used, especially given that we have the 10 of Wands reversed before that, kind of saying like, you got to put down the burden. You can't do everything by yourself. And as someone that owns 2 small businesses, I will say I do everything for both of them, and it can be a little exhausting. But I'm trying to find a better balance between things, and hopefully I can get to a place where I can take on the possibility of having like real help and like really kind of moving out of this like stuck energy of trying to be too much of the Emperor for myself. So card number 4 is going to be how my spirit guide is trying to help me. We have the 2 of Wands. This is a card to me that is very much about strategy and planning and kind of like really being aware of what is necessary, like having that creative spark, but then multiplying it to say, okay, what sort of things do I need to do? What sort of choices do I need to make in order for this to be a possibility? So my spirit guide's kind of sitting here and it's like, I'm bringing you an opportunity to like make a better plan or to figure it out. Or maybe I'm giving you an opportunity to kind of look at what would this look like for you? And I think that this is almost an invitation from my spirit guide to let me know like, hey, I'm not having to plan all this stuff out on my own. Like maybe they're like, we're trying to give you this strategy. We're trying to give you an opportunity to kind of come up with like what will work. Like, let us know what you need help with, and then we'll give you the answers or the guidance or the opportunity to kind of see like, oh, that's what I need, or that's what's going to help, or that's what's going to clarify things moving forward. So I'm getting kind of this sense of like, not so much that this guide is more pushy, but maybe kind of saying like, hey, why are you trying to do all of this on your own? And finally, for card number 5, I have what should I do moving forward? I have death, which to me, death can just really represent having to let go, having to just let life kind of move through the cycles that it's going to. Maybe I have to be a little bit more aware of the lessons that come from just allowing things to kind of go through what they need to go through. And I think that this is almost saying, like, maybe just kind of move into it without putting so much pressure on myself or expecting it to look a certain way. I know a lot of people are afraid of death, and the death card can seem very scary, but I think that this is, again, maybe it's hey, there's transformation here, there's rebirth, but in order for the rebirth to happen, we have to kind of really surrender to the process. And so I think that this is almost saying, like, I just have to surrender. I need to stop trying to have it look a certain way or feel a certain way or even make as much sense to me in the way of like, oh, this is what I want it to look like. This is what it's going to be. I feel like this last year has been one of a lot of surrendering, a lot of letting go. So I feel like it's been very much this kind of death card energy in so many different ways. So I think it's almost just encouraging me to say, like, you're on the right path, even if it feels like you're just having to not know what comes next. It's almost saying, like, the seeds will be given to you. The seeds are being planted. They're just not going to look the way that you had anticipated or how you thought it was going to, because I can just say a lot of the things that kind of shook out last year for me personally were not anywhere near on my radar as far as like how I thought things were going to go. And here I am a couple months in, kind of seeing this huge transformation, this huge rebirth in so many different ways, and feeling a little less like rigid about certain things. Because that's the thing with death, right? We can't control it. We can't dictate what it's going to feel like or look like or when it's going to come, but it comes for us all. And I think that this is almost saying, like, what I need to do moving forward is just kind of live with the understanding that all of this will end, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. So that's how I would interpret this. Obviously, I would probably spend a little bit more time kind of journaling, kind of diving a little bit deeper, kind of trying to see what other things may be coming up for me regarding some of these messages, as well as like, what does this look like and feel like for me overall. But I just want to say that it's a lot of fun to have these kind of tarot spreads to kind of lean into, things that are a little bit different that maybe are can allow you to kind of move into a different facet of your practice. So let me know if you guys have any kind of spirit guide tarot spreads that you like to use, and again, you don't have to use tarot cards with these spreads. You can use whatever, but I really hope you guys have a good one. Please take care, stay safe, and as always, make good choices. Bye.